I think the country is starting to discover the goodness of Tamil cinema at this point.
Yep.
Because of the whole pan-India wave.
Yeah.
So for people who are just starting to discover it,
Mhm.
and it's a difficult question I'll ask you,
Mhm.
but could you name 4 films you'd introduce them to if you want to introduce Tamil cinema to them?
That's a good question. Tamil cinema, Mani Sir's film Nayagan is a fantastic film with Kamal Sir. That it is almost like Godfather, but it's a beautiful film that they would love to watch.
Why so?
It's like a biopic of a gangster, and it goes through different ages. And to think that Kamal Sir was actually only 34 or 35 when he did that film, but he plays a 62-year-old man or a 70-year-old man, and towards the end, and it's a beautiful film. It's a classic. There's a film called Padinaru Vedana, which is again Kamal Sir's film, which I like, which was done by Mr. Bharati Raja, which is from The Village. It's really nice. Then there's a film called Udari Pookal, which is a very old film. It's a classic.
One second, sir. The second film you named, can you also explain why?
It's a very raw film. It was that true genre, right? It's like a village, very rustic film, which was, you could actually look into, this is how village life was in South India. And in that, you have a protagonist, and you have Sridevi, Kamal Sir, and the villain is Mr. Rajnikant. Can you believe it? Iconic, like to the extent that I may not remember my dialogues. I remember all the dialogues from that movie. They used to have records with the dialogues, and I used to keep listening to it. Beautiful songs. And Sridevi, I think that's her first film. And Rajni Sir is like, he hadn't yet bloomed and become a superstar. Kamal Sir was bigger than him. It's a fantastic film. That's one of my best films. If I wanted to make a remake, I would love to do Kamal Sir's character. He plays a cripple in that. He's a village bumpkin, and he's like a duffer. What a performance! I don't think even he can repeat it. It's like that. And this one, and I would love people to watch Ravanan. The Tamil version of it. It's a very interesting film, the way Mani Sir had crafted it. And another film, Udari Pookal is an old film. It's a very old film.
Sorry, I have to ask you to expand a little bit on Ravanan also.
Ravanan is, it's very, the way he dwelled into that character, it's unrequited love, and the way, see, what happened is, because it was Ravanan and Ram or whatever, in the north, it was not accepted immediately. And because of that, we felt the backlash in the south also.
Really?
Because Ravan didn't do well here. Automatically people started thinking it's, but now they're telling me it's a cult film and everybody's talking about it. And whenever they speak about my film, they talk about Ravanan, and they say, and I think, wow, really? It's the way he got the performance. Mani Sir is one of those fantastic master craftsmen. And the way he got us to perform, he will never tell you how to act. He will come and create a scene. He'll say, this happened. Like, let me say Aishwarya is there and she leaves me and goes, and he'll come and say, he won't say, she's left. He'll say, as a kid, you are lost in a trade fair and you really thought that's the end of the world. And that's what happens even here. That scene is not there, but the way he'll conjure up an image which is just so striking, and you'll okay, that's it. And what was nice is, I had 10 heads. It was like that. But we actually had sequences where I will have a drummer. I play a woman. I play a drummer. I play a drunkard. I play a poet. Like that, I'll have 9 other characters, And we shot all of it. So all of that is me. But later what he did, and I'll keep hearing these voices. So later he removed that. He said, no, that's not working, but let's keep the voices in my head. So whenever I'm talking, sometimes he'll come and tell me, he would have shot with Abhishek, then he'll come and say, Kenny, let's try this. He used to call me, that's what I'm called at home, Kenny, okay? So he says, Kenny, sir, let's do this. Try this scene, like, I want you to be like really powerful. So I'll do it. Then he said, no, it's not working. Can we try you very vulnerable? Then I'll try vulnerable. Then he said, okay, try philosophical. Then he said, nail that. That's nice. Can you shift to? So we'll try something. Then he'll call back Abhishek the next day. He'll reshoot it in that mood. So we could actually try different characters for each scene, And when you see the way he's gotten the performance, like, I don't know, I felt very proud of my acting in that. And I have to thank Mani Sir for that. But the way he's played it, and it was a very tricky thing because it is actually about Ram and Sita. And so he could not do anything that's, questionable. So I could not, like it is a love story between Ravan and Sita, but he could not, actually elaborate or amplify that. So how close can you come to that without, risking the wrath of people, it was like that. And he's called it Ravanan, so he's actually put it out there. But the way he's handled it is very poetic, and And of course, we had, the irony was Ponniyin Selvan again. It's again Aishwarya and me. Again, she's somebody else's wife. Again, he loves her, but he knows it's his love of his life, and they never get to meet each other. I mean, and he falls in, I mean, he dies because of her. It's the same thing. And it again got repeated, which is beautiful. But Ravanan started it all.
Okay, fourth.
That's Udri Pookal. Udri Pookal it's a very old film by Mr. Mahendran, and I mean, nobody will know the actors right now, but it's about relationships, and there is like the woman will be wronged and what happens, and it's one of the most classic films, and I mean, something that everybody must watch in Tamil. Udri Pookal is like that. And there's another film of Kamal Sir's called Pushpak, which is a fantastic film because it's a silent film, but it's comic. It's with Amla and Mr. Kamal and Kamal Hassan, and it's in a hotel, and there are a lot of comedy scenes in that. But the way they'll do it without one word of dialogue was very, intriguing, and at the same time it was very exciting. And Kamal Sir, like I told you, I watched all his films, so that's it.
I'm also glad Ponniyin Selvan got a mention. It's such an important film from an Indian context.
Yes, it is.
This is almost angers not just myself, but lots of people in my generation, that we're not taught about the Chola Empire as much as we should be taught in our childhoods.
True.
And I think people are starting to learn history through YouTube at this point.
Yes.
And lots of Indians are getting upset about our history syllabus in schools.
Yep.
This should be one of the top chapters. It actually would instill a lot of pride in every single Indian.
Yeah. It's very, what you're saying is so true, because at that time, you won't believe, we had the biggest maritime force, can you believe, in the world. And it extended all the way to Kadaram. Kadaram is Malaysia, Indonesia. A time when even like ships were like they had a nautical force like that, and they conquered, they moved north, they did all that, and Buddhism and karate, kung fu, kalaripayattu, all of it was taken to other countries where they prospered more than India. I think all of it, like we're such a diverse nation, and I feel there's so much we are missing out, like you say, because history has been hidden in some places. Even Ranjit keeps talking about Thangalaan like that. He says history, highlights a lot of things, but a lot of societies, a lot of tribes have actually just vanished. Nobody knows, which is why he says, I want to talk about it. And Thangalaan is like that. He wants to talk about that particular tribe, which this is what happened. How did KGF happen? Like the KGF you saw with Yash, Rocky Bai is a very different cinematic experience, which is beautiful. This is not that. This is like base. It's raw. It's struggle. And in that, how they find gold, what happens. He's tried to do that. And history has been unkind to a lot of people in the world. And actually, that's a poignant point you're talking about.
Hey, if you enjoyed today's clip, make sure you check out all the other clips we've uploaded on this channel. You'll find a clip related to almost every single topic, as long as you're willing to search for it.